Cheese! Say cheese! Cheese! You say it with me? Yes! And we say, hi! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel! Today you are getting Jacinta Mum Mode City with a sick toddler, a very tired mummy, and a pretty messy house. So, it's all good. Let's go. What's on for today, Zion? Tell me. What are we doing today? Really? Is that right? Oh, yes. Today we're blowing bubbles. You're so cute. Okay, I put a vibe on my Instagram and I asked, do you want to come shopping with me? And I said, women's clothing, children's clothing, or house type products like Kmart. And of all the people that responded, they all wanted to see something different, but most of the responses said grocery shopping and budgeting. Wow, has the time passed and we become old that we want grocery and budgeting tips? But I'm right there with you because I want those tips too, girl. So today we are talking all things grocery shopping, all things budgeting, and how to make the most out of your money and make your food last the longest in your house possible. I've got some tips for you and here they are. Tip number one is check before you buy. In our household, we actually end up being the grocery shoppers that will go out multiple times a week and just buy what we think we need. And we end up with so much more waste than what we should, or we'll end up with doubles and triples of things that we didn't know we already had because we didn't check. So I've been very diligent lately to always check before we buy. Make sure you check your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer to make sure that you're not doubling or tripling things, that you already have 3 tins of canned tomatoes, or you've got 2 kilos of chicken breasts just in your freezer ready to use, so you don't need to buy more. Especially if you're having a tight week, you will be surprised by what you can make by what you have in your freezer or in your fridge or in your pantry. Here's a bonus tip. There are so many websites that you can put in, I have this ingredient, what can I make? And they come up with some ideas for you recipe-wise. Tip number 2, plan your meals. I am a terrible meal planner, terrible. Plan your meals because that means you know what to buy when you go grocery shopping. You're not just buying what you're feeling, then that makes the trolley really full. Planning your meals as well is gonna help you later on in the week by you knowing what to pull out every day. That also means that somebody else in your household can help you prep for dinner. If you know every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, or you know every Friday is takeout night, you're always gonna be well prepared in the day and know, oh, I gotta take out the mince today, or my husband comes home work early than me today, so he can cut up all the vegetables for tacos, type of thing. So it's gonna help you later on in the week. Tip number 3 is be flexible with your meal plan. That means if you're going into the store with steak this day or chicken this day or whatever, fish, whatever is on your meal plan, but then you end up going to the store and chicken is half price or chicken thighs are half price a kilo, swap out your chicken breasts for chicken thighs or swap your chicken for fish because it's on special. It's gonna save you so much money and it's not gonna really affect you. As long as you still have food for that day, you're good. I shop whenever possible. Obviously, having a kid, having a busy work life and a busy everything else life, shopping has never been a planned event for me. It's always been a get there when I can. I've got a free hour or half an hour. Let's do this. So tip number 4 is do not shop when you are hungry because so much more stuff goes in the trolley. And I'm talking from experience. Try shopping once you finished a meal or bring a piece of fruit with you to the shop so you can nibble or something like that, or a bottle of water just to make sure that you're not adding things in the cart just because you can smell them or you're craving them while you're shopping. Tip number 5, try shop on your own, especially if you've got kids that are a little bit older, like over 3 years old, because they know what it means to put stuff in the trolley. Even my 18-month-old, he knows what it means to put stuff in, but he doesn't fight me for it during the shopping experience. So try shopping alone as much as possible because nobody's gonna add things. Hopefully you'll stick to your list, but there won't be all these extra things added in to make it more expensive. Tip number 6, bulk buy when you can. If you're having a good week financially or you've saved some money in a certain area and chicken thighs are half price a kilo, buy some extra chicken thighs, put them in your freezer and use them another week or the week after for your meal plan. You're gonna help yourself later because you're not gonna be spending that money in the next weeks to come. So bulk buy when you can. And tip number 7 is bulk cook when you can as well. If you have more available, cook it and then freeze it or something, or at least prep your food, cut up your chicken or cut up your steaks, keep them in the freezer. Yeah. Yeah. Dad's not here. Cut everything or prep it, and then you know that when it comes to cooking it later, you've already got it done, and that's gonna save you with time. So that's gonna help you there, not money, but time. Big saving. Tip number 8, watch your leftovers. We are a terrible leftover house. My husband for years would not eat leftovers, and I had to force him to eat them because, hello, you are wasting good money by throwing food out, and the dog does not need a luxurious chicken breast dinner just because we can't eat it anymore because it's out of date. So don't waste food. That's a great money saver right there, is to eat your leftovers. A great little bonus tip I have for you there is keep track of all the food that's in your fridge. Then you know what you have to put in your freezer or something for leftovers for another time. If I'm cooking in a bulk, and right now we have an 18-year-old living with us, so I do tend to cook more things. And if I'm looking at in the fridge and I see there is like half a lasagna left and I know it's gonna go out of date tonight or tomorrow and we're not gonna have time to eat it, I'll quickly put it in the freezer before it's gone, then grab it as a quick meal the next week and it's already ready to go. So just keep an eye on your leftovers. If it can be frozen, if it's freezable, pop it in the freezer. You will not waste any food either. I think this is number 9, I think. But keep your freezer organized. My freezer is not organized like at all because we do a lot of freezer cooking, and I bulk cook for Zion as well. So there's always toddler meals available. So I kind of just use it where I have space possible. But by keeping your freezer organized, you can do that quick pantry and freezer and fridge check before you go shopping. You can plan out your meals because you can see what's available. So keep your freezer organized, and then that's gonna help you with budgeting and not overspending or overbuying later. And it's also gonna help you see what meals you already have so you can save time by not having to cook again that night. This is something I'm doing this week, and I'll try film it if I can. While organizing my freezer, I'm gonna be doing a freezer log. That means have a list on your fridge of, my son is blowing his nose. That is, have a list on your fridge, freezer, wherever you can, with every meal and every frozen food, mainly the expensive things like meats, dairies, cheeses, whatever you have in there. Log what is in your freezer so you don't have to always check it as well. And that means I can look there when I'm meal planning and say, all right, I have a whole cooked lasagna in my freezer. I already know that. Crossed it off, we're eating it tonight for dinner. So you know what's going on, it's quicker for you, saves you time. And if you want the best freezer organizer like myself, it's already written down for you. You don't need to go through everything that's in there every week. Tip number 11, shop around. You would be amazed at how much money you're saving just by shopping around and going to different grocery stores or supermarkets or farmers markets, whatever it is in your area. I know it adds to your time and it's not as convenient, but if you are budgeting, it is a really important tip to take and consider because you're really going to save a lot of money. Obviously, the big supermarkets like Woolworths and Coles, they all compete against each other. So they're gonna have generally different savings every week, sometimes even the same things. Look at their catalogs, look at it online, and help yourself out because you're gonna save big. What we tend to do is we'll do most of our shop at our local supermarket, the big one, which is Woolworths for us. If there's anything that's really on sale at Coles, we'll go there. Or Aldi, there are certain products I always buy from Aldi, like bread and dairy products, because it's so much cheaper. Then we'll do our fruit and veg, or our main bulk of the fruit and veg will be from the fruit and veg market because it's just so cheap there, and at the moment we're using a lot more vegetables and fruits, so really important, saving us a lot of money. Tip number 12 for those mum and dads that cannot get away from their kids from shopping, tight on time or whatever it is, let them do the work for you. Most of the big supermarkets like Coles and Woolworths, they will let you buy online, they'll pack it all, and all you have to do is pick it up and keep going. The only thing is you need to give them 24 hours notice, which if you're prepared, or if you know, hey, I need to buy this, this, and this week, or you do grocery shopping once a week, perfect. Go online, buy all you need, do a pickup, and go buy it the next day. Pick it all up, it's all ready for you. That means you do not have to get the kids out of the car. You don't have to do anything like that. I've never done it before, but I think I'm gonna start doing it because taking your kids shopping is really intense. And like my kid right now, he just threw a chocolate muffin everywhere and it's okay. He goes to bed soon, it's fine. Tip number 13 is shop less. So if you can do one big bulk shop once a week or even once a fortnight, you're gonna save big money. It's gonna be a bigger investment because you obviously have to pay for 2 weeks worth of food, but that means you're not going back and spending $30, $40 every time. That's where you eat up a lot of your money. That's something we're learning, especially in our house, because you don't realize how much money you are spending on food until you get that little, you've spent this much money this month. And you're like, whoa, this is where all my money is going. So be a little more prepared. Go shopping once a week. If you need bread or milk or eggs or something that's gonna help you, the necessities, go out and get them. But try your best to stay away from the shops for a whole week or maybe even 2 if you're willing the challenge, and see how you go. See how much money you spent the last times you went shopping versus doing it a different way. I just thought of this tip. So tip number 14 is buy the supermarket brand when you can. So many things are pretty much made in the same place, the same factory, put a different label on and they give it to you. So if you're really focused on budgeting, that's a great way to budget, because you will get a home brand or a Woolworths brand or whatever it is, and it's going to be maybe a half the price sometimes to a name brand per se. But some people won't do that with certain products. I mean, my family is big on Nutella and they would never go on a home brand Nutella because they understand the value in Nutella. So with certain things, I guess you won't touch it. But for most things, rice, go for it, give it a go. All you can do is try it once, and if you don't like it, don't buy it again. But it could save you some money. My final tip is do what works for your family. Everyone is different. Everybody likes it a different way. Everybody's budgets are different. So see what works for your family. But there hopefully were some tips in here that you can take and spoke to you, or you can try out and see if it works to help you save money or helps you be more organized in your weekly cooking and preparation as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it helped. I'd love to take you shopping with me as well in the next few weeks, and my freezer organization that'll be coming too. It'll prompt me to get it done as well, trust me. But thanks so much for joining. Bye.